Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Well, here in North Kensington, the atmosphere has been strained for 3 days now, and it's growing more strained by the hour. The effect on the community of this tragedy and its unfolding aftermath, 30 are confirmed dead, over 70 are still missing, is difficult to gauge. I've been talking to some of those directly affected. There is a bewildering absence in these streets of information about the dead and of what will become of the survivors. There is grief everywhere as neighbours search for the friends they grew up with, and it is turning to anger because they have warned this could happen for years. So where did you used to live?
Second floor,
And
Grenfell Tower.
what was it like then?
It was terrible. They don't listen. They don't listen. People in high places, they need to come down and feel how people live, to see how people gone through this tragedy. Look what happened.
Do you know anyone still there?
7 of them, I know.
And have you heard from any of them?
No, no one's done anything to help them, to listen to their voice. They're human being. They're human being. They've got rights to talk, how they live. And they blank them.
And for people who have fought the council and the building managers for years, the Prime Minister's announcement of a public inquiry has been met with dismay. To them, this is a way of simply kicking the whole scandal into the long grass.
I would want a coroner's inquest, and I would also like to see a criminal investigation that is thorough and wide-ranging. We've had so many public inquiries. You know, you can count them on 2 hands, and they've been utterly ineffective. They're quoted 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, when they eventually report, which is no good. It needs to be done now.
While all eyes were on the protest at the council building a mile away, Theresa May slipped into a nearby church.
What good is she doing? Has she come with food? Has she come with water? I was supposed to be at a meeting at Kensington and Chelsea College just now at 3 p.m, yeah, which was supposedly meant to be with council representatives and representatives of the TMO in order for them to know how they can help us. They refused to turn up.
She's only here because Jeremy Corbyn came here yesterday. It's as simple as that. Jeremy Corbyn came here yesterday, putting his arm around people. She was hiding in the background with the police, and now she wants to come around with the people. It's too late.
But she didn't stop to talk to those outside.
Prime Minister! Prime Minister, why are you running away? Why are you running away, Prime Minister?
And amidst all this, the families wait, still searching, not knowing what has happened to their loved ones.
This is Amal Ahmeddin and her daughter, 3 years old Amaya, and their dad is called Hamanur Tuku.
Are you getting any information or any help?
Nothing whatsoever, nothing at all. That's why we are putting this mission, because we tried every hospitals, we could not relocate them. So that's the only hope. If someone sees them or if someone knows where they are, can give us any clue.
What do you believe has happened?
It's just fire, you know, accident. It's an accident, but never know what could have happened. In my heart, I'm sure they are not with us, but we just...
You have to come here.
Yeah, that small hope that we have is just to see, in case there's some good news, like, oh, they are in coma or they are doing something like that, but in the heart says that they are not with us. It's the saddest moment, to tell you the truth.
People here tonight want answers and they need leadership. Right now, both things are in short supply. Well, I'm joined now by the writer Nasreen Malik, who lives close by, and Mirna Ayubi, a friend of the family of Mohammed al-Hajali, who died in the fire, and who has started a petition to get his Syrian parents here to Britain, and Mushtaq Lashari, who was a Labour councillor here for 18 years. Nasreen Malik, what is the overwhelming feeling you have tonight? We're sort of into a lot of blame on these streets at the moment.
Well, the blame is focused primarily on politicians and how we got here in the first place. But I think it's important to understand the environment within which this became possible. Our toxic language when it comes to immigration, the fact that you can't really fight immigrants' corner without being pushed back, the fact that we have robust cuts and cuts in public spending over the past 7 years. You know, there are people who have been responsible either directly or indirectly in the political field, but we have voted them in. And so we need to also think about our individual complacencies, our daily political decisions, and the environment, the rhetoric that we find more acceptable now that contributes to an environment where this is possible.
But people have struggled to know what to do. I mean, people have sent aid that is really going to waste, that is being stockpiled far too much. And that's really a sign of sort of the helplessness of people not really knowing how to respond.
Absolutely, it's a helpless environment. Also, it seems like a rigged environment as well. It seems like there is no connection between people's daily lives and their ability to enact change. So we need to start petitioning our local councillors, our local MPs, and make this a political issue, which it is. The fact that we're standing here is a political issue.
Mina, you're working on a very immediate issue because the family of Mohammed, there are two brothers here.
Yes.
And they are without their parents.
Yes, in a very tragic time, unfortunately. They're going through grieving, bereavement, and they need the support of your immediate family in a situation like this. And I think it's extremely important that we support them, whether it's the Home Office, whether it's the government, to be able to provide their family a visa to be acceptable in the UK and get here to the UK and stand by.
Is it practical? I mean, would they be able to get out of Syria?
I think so. We've got lawyers working on the case, and all we need is for it to be approved.
I'm sorry, there's a helicopter overhead, so I know it's very noisy and you're having to compete with that. But Mushtaq Lashari, do you feel people's voices are being heard, will be heard now? Or is this just a flash in the media?
I think they will be heard because you can see that since this incident happened, we were running as a community or as a residence to help people, but within 6 months there was a fire service, which should be appreciated. And then the leader of opposition was here, Mayor of London was here, Prime Minister visited. Okay, she didn't meet the residents because she was fearful of the security. Then Queen, Prince William has been here. All state resources, I think, have been mobilized. The leader of the council, everybody. I was opposition and I am from Labour Party, and I know we are here to put them accountable for the things which they should do and they don't do it. But still, I think they are doing their best, in my opinion, because these things, the sort of tragedy, you practice a lot of times, but when they happen, it is very difficult to deal with them.
Nazreen, the thing no one's really articulated clearly as far as I can see, and I've been sort of grappling it with myself, is who the people we are talking about. We're talking about immigrant communities,
Absolutely.
Lots of Muslims, lots of people for whom they have been the focus of political hate
Absolutely.
for the last year and political blame in amongst the debate about Brexit and all of that.
Absolutely, and that's the point I was trying to make earlier, is that when people's social and political capital diminishes so much and it becomes acceptable to demonize them, you then understand how when they come to you with very clear warnings about health and safety, that they're ignored because it is acceptable for them to be ignored. So when we sweep immigration rhetoric under the rug, or when we think, oh, people have legitimate concerns, or when we try and posture to win votes in general elections, this is the result.
I think, Christian, it is very sad sort of environment that in last 2 years we had a Brexit. First we had a Scottish referendum, then Brexit, then another general election, and the media and the politicians have blamed each other. Instead of telling people what to do and how to move forward, they are blaming each other. Even today, somebody is blaming other, the other are blaming somebody. Let's work together, and community is getting together. They have raised more than 5 million. Now today the Prime Minister announced 5 million. That is a peanut. They should bring in the resources into the area, sit here and talk to people and reflect what they can do.
I mean, there are people marching right now. We can hear them every so often, chanting and feeling angry and feeling unheard. What I'm not clear of is what they are demanding.
I think in these sort of circumstances, people mob gather, and then some opportunist might exploit the situation. So these people should be careful not to go to town hall and try to force them. Means they can go to their local councillor, their MP, contact the TMO, which is sitting next door, instead of going the gathering and then trying to grab the town hall. It is like occupying something.
Are you optimistic?
I'm optimistic because the community around Grenfell and the general national anger has made it clear that the change is going to come from mass action. It's not only going to be the victims or the survivors, it's going to be the whole nation.
In a word, do you agree?
Yes, definitely.
I'm glad. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
I've been getting away with it